Hey everybody, stay tuned because today we're going to be talking about America's #1 silent killer. Hey everybody, and welcome to Motivational Monday, where you can learn how simple shifts in your habits can lead to profound results in the way that you feel and in the way that you look. Today we're talking about the silent killer, high blood pressure, and the reason it's silent is because there are no symptoms to high blood pressure. Very few people infrequently might experience headaches or visual disturbances, but the vast majority of people who have high blood pressure do not know it. This is interesting because 1 in 3 American adults have been estimated to have high blood pressure, and only half of those people are controlling their blood pressure. That's a lot of people with the problem and not a lot of people doing anything about it. So the first thing you need to do is find out if you have high blood pressure. Go to your doctor, or you can even go to your local pharmacy. Oftentimes pharmacies have methods for you to check your blood pressure just to see what's going on. First, establish whether you have it or not, and then take the steps that you need to lower your blood pressure well before you need medication. There's a lot you can do nutritionally to help us get this under control. The reason it's important is that unattended to high blood pressure, not managing your blood pressure, can lead to heart attacks, strokes, kidney disease, lots of problems that are completely preventable, again, if you know right away that there's an issue and you start to address it. It's estimated that high blood pressure costs the federal government over $47 billion a year in healthcare costs, medication, and missed days of work. So this is a lot. This is a big issue that really is unnecessary to have. There's so much that we can do to manage our blood pressure, and we're going to go over the 9 steps right now. So first of all, what's a normal blood pressure? Anything, if you have a reading that's between 110/70 or 120/80, those are ideal blood pressure numbers. If you come in a little bit higher at 130, 135, over 85 or 90, your doctor might give you a warning. But if you're coming in at 140, 145, over 90, 95, your doctor's going to either give you a warning with a very short window to fix it, or he's going to actively put you on medication. I can tell you as a pharmacist that once you're on medication for your blood pressure, it is very hard to come off of it. And usually what ends up happening is that multiple medications are needed to manage the condition. So you really want to take the steps that you need to take nutritionally to get that under control. But of course, first you need to know whether you have it or not, and you can easily find that out by going to your doctor. So let's talk about the 9 steps. Step number 1, which is always the first suggestion, is to manage your sodium intake. It is estimated that each adult should take in somewhere in the vicinity of 1,500 milligrams to no more than 2,300 milligrams a day. Let me tell you how easy that is to do. If you only ate foods that exist in nature, so things like vegetables and fruit and animal protein, without at all adding salt or sodium to your diet, you would meet that number. So it's pretty easy to get that amount of sodium in your diet. Here's the bigger problem with sodium that is often overlooked or ignored. Sodium, the sodium that we're using in food, is literally a refined nutrient. So sodium is a mineral that exists naturally in combination with other minerals like potassium and magnesium. So when you buy like Himalaya salt or you're buying sea salt, you're buying a salt that has all those minerals mixed together. So it modulates the effect of sodium on your cells and on your blood pressure. When you buy sodium chloride, and you got to start looking at those labels. So if you buy typical table salt, you're buying sodium chloride, which has been refined to take out those other minerals and has a much more pointed and exacting effect on your blood pressure. So first of all, absolutely look at that. If you're going to use salt in your diet, buy a mineral salt that's rich in other minerals so it balances out the impact that sodium is having on your blood pressure. That's number 1. Number 2, reduce the amount of sodium in your diet. Salt, it helps to enhance the flavor of food, but don't be heavy-handed about it. Most meals contain adequate amounts of sodium, especially if you're eating them in a restaurant. If you're doing it at home, just a little bit, just to bring out the flavor of food, but don't necessarily go crazy with the salt because that's part of the problem. But the biggest part of the problem and the place that we're getting the most sodium is in packaged and manufactured food. Canned food, boxed foods, these foods contain sodium and other preservative ingredients that contain sodium as well, and that's the bigger issue. So first, clean out the junk food. Nothing out of bags, nothing out of boxes, nothing out of cans. Right there, you'll be eliminating an enormous amount of sodium, and then the next thing you need to do is, if you're going to use salt in your diet, get a salt that's rich in minerals like Himalaya salt. So all of that is suggestion number 1. Suggestion number 2. This is often ignored, and it blows my mind that it's ignored, but the amount of sugar in your diet plays a role in your blood pressure. It's not just sodium, it's also sugar. For every molecule of sugar that you digest in your body creates 6 molecules of water. Those molecules of water go into your circulatory system and they expand the blood volume that's circulating throughout your body. As you expand your blood volume, you're putting pressure on your arterial walls, and that's affecting your blood pressure. So the amount of sugar in your diet absolutely plays a role in your blood pressure, and this is not often talked about in mainstream medicine. If you want to manage your blood pressure, you have to look at how much sugar are you consuming? How many cookies are you having a day? Especially things that come out of boxes and cans. Again, because those types of ingredients are low quality ingredients. If you're making your own cookies at home, it's a little bit better, but you still got to manage your sugar intake. So cut out things, cut out junk food, cut out the sugary stuff. Anything that's low fat is high sugar. So look at all of those things and start cutting out that garbage out of your diet and start eating. If you need something sweet, eat fruit, eat a little piece of dark chocolate, which has benefits for your blood pressure. Do little tiny things like that to get rid of that sugar out of your diet and replace it with natural sugars that have minerals that can help modulate your blood pressure. So looking at your sugar intake and really reducing it substantially or eliminating altogether would be suggestion number 2. Suggestion number 3, and this is, again, it could be part of every single video that I've ever made, but it's to embrace a whole foods diet. When you eat things as they exist in nature, things like vegetables and fruit, you're taking in things that are loaded in vitamins and minerals, and those minerals, things like potassium, calcium, and magnesium, help to reduce your blood pressure, help to manage your blood pressure. They also eliminate a huge amount of these preservatives and these chemicals and the sodium and the sugar that people are taking in when they're eating processed, manufactured, and boxed food. So embrace a whole foods diet. My whole library of videos talks about this and methods in which to do this and recipes that you can incorporate to make that happen. So start doing that, and that's suggestion number 3. Suggestion number 4. This is an ambitious suggestion, but I definitely recommend it. Have a green juice every single day. A green juice contains, again, this concentrated amount of all of these minerals that can help to lower your blood pressure. So juice things like cucumber, kale, parsley, lime, ginger, all of these things can not only help to reduce inflammation in the arteries, which is very helpful again to protect you against heart disease, but provide concentrated minerals that you're just simply not going to eat in a plate of food. If you look at the amount of vegetables that go into making one glass of juice, you would sit there and know, you would see that there's no way that you'd ever eat that in a day. So try to juice daily. If you need suggestions on that, I have a video on that in my library that you can refer to, and that can give you some ideas. But even if you do it as little as twice a week, that is an improvement. So juicing would be suggestion number 4. Suggestion number 5 is to limit alcohol intake. So a little bit of red wine is really good for the cardiovascular system because of the resveratrol that it contains, but too much alcohol consumed every single day can absolutely affect your blood pressure. So take an adequate assessment of your alcohol intake and see what you can do to reduce it. So for men, it should be no more than 2 drinks a day. For women, it should be no more than 1 drink a day. But honestly, that's probably too much as well if you have heart disease in your family, or even if you have cancer in your family, because alcohol can be detrimental to both those conditions. So limiting alcohol is suggestion number 5. Suggestion number 6, eliminate tobacco. So again, if you need further proof that it's not good for you, you just have to go no further than your Google account and just type it in, do a Google search so you can find out how bad smoking is for you. In fact, cigarettes on the box themselves, it astounds me now, cigarettes will kill you. It's right there. But still people buy them. And I understand because addictions are hard to break. So this is not a judgment, but this is really something that you want to look at and you want to take care of. Cigarettes are going to narrow the passageway that blood flows. It's going to absolutely raise your blood pressure. It's going to lead to plaque formation and actively contribute to heart disease. So if you smoke, try to find steps to eliminate that habit from your life. And if you need a video to help you, I have one in my archives. So suggestion number 6, I believe, is to quit smoking. Suggestion number 7 is to manage your stress. First, you got to identify the sources of your stress, and then you got to take the steps to manage it. So we all live with stress. Some people manage it better than others, but there are some kinds of stress that are absolutely ongoing and pervasive and constantly keep your body in fight or flight. Having that dynamic going on in your body will, over time, absolutely raise your blood pressure. So if you're not happy with your job, see if there are ways that you can change that situation in some way without necessarily quitting your job if that's something that scares you, but try to see if you can find ways to alleviate that. If there are problems in your relationship, address them. But whatever they are, find out what your stressors are and then find ways to manage your stress. Whether it's meditation, whether it's talking to a counselor, talking to a friend, writing it down. You need outlets for your stress. If not, the pressure just builds, and that's absolutely going to aggravate your blood pressure. So identifying your stressors and managing them is suggestion number 7. Suggestion number 8 is getting adequate sleep. When you sleep, you actively disengage from the day that you just had, and you help restore yourself so that you can approach each new day with a new mindset, with a fresh start. It helps to lower your stress levels. So if you're not sleeping sufficiently, or if you're getting poor quality sleep, I again encourage you to go to the archives. I have a whole video on sleep and the habits that you can embrace to get a healthy sleep and start getting quality sleep. Not everybody needs 8 hours, but you probably need at least 7. So start shooting for that. So getting adequate sleep is suggestion number 8. And finally, suggestion number 9 is getting exercise. Exercise is the best tool that I know to be happy, to be healthy, to have less stress in your life, to help your heart, to help lower your blood pressure, to help you have a fantastic life. When I go for a run, I can tell you that no matter what I was feeling, no matter how bad it was, it goes away by the end of those 30 minutes. I just feel better. It takes my stress level and it brings it right down. So whether it's running or it's yoga or it's a class, whatever you can do, go for a hike. That's even better. Go for a hike in nature. There's nothing like nature to help you really disengage from the overstimulation that we all experience in our day-to-day lives. But find an exercise that you enjoy, even if it's dancing around your house. Do that. Do it regularly. You want to shoot for 30 minutes 6 times a day, and that will go a long way towards lowering your blood pressure. So I know that all of these things can be hard for you to start embracing all together, all at the same time. Developing a healthy lifestyle is not an overnight sensation. It's an ongoing lifestyle change that you take on one thing at a time. So find something on that list that you're not already doing, and then start making that change today. Once you've done that for a little while and that's feeling pretty good, embrace the next change. But systematically set about trying to make those changes so that not only can you have a healthy blood pressure, but you're protecting yourself from future problems like heart disease or a stroke or something like that, or cancer. All of these suggestions can be applied to almost anything that I talk about, any health disease. So whether it's blood pressure or cancer, you have to all manage it the same way. It's about taking care of your health, and there's so many ways that you can do that. So there you have another Motivational Monday that I hope that you add to your repertoire of your favorites and that you refer to time and again to help you manage your health goals. If you like tips like this and you want more of them, come on over to BarbaraMendezNutrition.com and sign up for the mailing list there. Once you do, you will either get a written or a video blog from me, and you will get it every Monday that has either a recipe or some nutritional suggestion or some tip to help move you closer to your health goals. You can like me on Facebook or Twitter, and if you know somebody with high blood pressure, please forward this video to them. I'd also love to hear from you. Do you have high blood pressure? Did you find a way to manage it naturally? Were there any of these suggestions useful to you? Please comment in the blog below. I would love to hear from you. Thanks so much, everybody. Have an awesome Monday, and I look forward to seeing you next week.